Good day, brothers and sisters. Another day to spend with the Lord. Come, let us listen and reflect on His Word.
A reading from the Holy Gospel according to Saint Luke. There was a scholar of the law who stood up to test Jesus and said, "Teacher, what must I do to inherit eternal life?" Jesus said to him, "What is written in the law? How do you read it?" He said in reply, "You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your being, with all your strength, and with all your mind, and your neighbor as yourself." He replied to him, "You have answered correctly. Do this, and you will live." But because he wished to justify himself, he said to Jesus, "And who is my neighbor?" Jesus replied, "A man fell victim to robbers as he went down from Jerusalem to Jericho. They stripped and beat him and went off, leaving him half dead. A priest happened to be going down that road, but when he saw him, he passed by on the opposite side. Likewise, a Levite came to the place, and when he saw him, he passed by on the opposite side. But a Samaritan traveler who came upon him was moved with compassion at the sight. He approached the victim, poured oil and wine over his wounds, and bandaged them. Then he lifted him up on his own animal, took him to an inn, and cared for him. The next day he took out 2 silver coins and gave them to the innkeeper with the instruction, 'Take care of him. If you spend more than what I have given you, I shall repay you on my way back.' Which of these 3, in your opinion, was a neighbor to the robber's victim?" He answered, "The one who treated him with mercy." Jesus said to him, "Go and do likewise." The Gospel of the Lord.
Do this and you will live. Luke connects his version of the greatest commandment with the parable of the Good Samaritan, which is peculiar to his gospel. Luke's version of the greatest commandment differs from the versions of Mark and Matthew in terms of its ending. All the synoptic gospels convey the message of the love of God in Deuteronomy chapter 6 verse 4 and the love of neighbor in Leviticus chapter 19 verse 18. It is only Luke, however, who gives us the ending. Do this and you will live. In the ending of the second part of the gospel, Jesus re-articulates the same mandate to go and be a true neighbor to people who need help. It is not enough to know the commandments if you want to inherit eternal life. They must be lived out. Do we really want to inherit eternal life? How do we concretely live out God's commandment of love? When was the last time we have become like the Good Samaritan,